This video is going to be a little bit different. You can see I have a little bit of a change in my office decor. I've got some plants on order that will be here to spruce things up and make things a little bit more green, which I'm really excited about. So soon to see how that goes. But also, I have some things to admit to that I'm not super proud of. I always thought that picking a word of the year was a waste of time. And so I've never done it before until 2023. I know that seems mind-boggling to a lot of you because I've actually been running my business in some capacity, side hustling or otherwise, since 2015. So to say that I haven't picked a word of the year seems rather odd, I guess, in retrospect, or at least from my standpoint now. But the reason was because I thought it was a waste of time. The reason I thought it was a waste of time was because for me it actually was, but only because I would pick one that sounded good and I'd totally forget about it and it would not seep into anything I did after this. If you pick a word and you don't dwell on it, you don't infuse it into everything that you do that year, you don't rely on it as your underlying reason for being, then yes, it is a waste of time. That said, last year, 2023, I picked a word of the year, and that word was strategy. I wanted to grow more strategically. I wanted to work more strategically. I wanted to plan more strategically. And funny enough, I did all of those things. So now that 2023 is over, let's take a look at what choosing that word actually did for my business. So when I go through my new system-ish, I'm going to show you some of the things that I'm proud of, what I learned, what didn't work, what did work, all of the things. Real quick, before I dive into this, if we haven't met before, my name is Caitlin and I run Launch the Damn Thing. I am a Squarespace web designer and educator. I've been a graphic designer since 2006 and I've been running my business since 2015. So come along and learn with me because we're all making mistakes, obviously. Hopefully you can learn from mine. Now let's hop into my review and I'll also give you a couple of quick notes on where I'm pulling these reflection questions and whatnot from in case you want to do this alongside me. So let's take a look. Before I get started and jump into mine, let me show you where I'm pulling a lot of these elements from. I bought the physical copy of the Artist of Life workbook, and because I'm a total nerd, I cannot force myself to write in it because it comes with a digital version, which I've been using on my iPad. So, highly recommend. Great reflection questions in here. I've really been enjoying going through that. I do have the beautiful book up on my bookshelf behind me. I really like not marking in it. I know that's weird. But anyway, it comes with both the physical and the digital, I think. Double check before you purchase. I've gone through this and there are reflection questions in here. A lot of planning and like what I learned and that kind of thing. What's my theme for the year? Um, all kinds of stuff. So that's where I'm pulling some of the reflection questions from. I also am using Paige Brunton's 4-step business planning strategy for the new year, her little workbook. It's just a PDF download, but you can get it for free here. I'll put the link below. But I pulled a lot of the questions in my actual review from her workbook. And then I've adopted all of that into a template system in Notion from Jules Acree. I've really been enjoying that lately. Some flexibility and like customizability has really taken over in me this year. So I'm using Notion more and more every day. You can buy the templates from her. Specifically, I bought the Down to Biz Notion pack and the Design Your Year Notion pack. So I have both of those. So you can get a lot of what I'm seeing in today's video from those sources. Now that I have this filled out, let's talk about some of the things that I wrote down. What am I most proud of that I did in 2023? I grew my YouTube channel to nearly 1,000 subscribers, and I think I actually would have hit 1,000 if I had planned appropriately in the fall of Q4 and been more consistent. I basically dropped off the face of the planet in December, and that was kind of outside of my control with, holiday plans and unexpected family visiting. And I basically prioritized my personal life and projects that I really wanted to get done before 2024 at the expense of my content marketing. So I grew my YouTube channel to nearly 1,000 subscribers. I almost could have hit it if I had been a little bit more consistent. I hit my email subscriber growth goal for the year and surpassed it, which was awesome. I launched my membership in July, I think. And I've got a bunch of wonderful ladies in there right now that I absolutely love and adore hanging out with. I stopped posting on social media in 2023. Actually, I may have stopped that in 2022, so I don't really remember when I actually purposefully stopped versus when I just did it because I didn't have the time. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I didn't post on purpose regularly or any kind of consistency in 2023. I made about $15,000 in affiliate income, which is the most I've ever made in affiliate income in the 8 years I've been running my business. So that feels like a win for me. I also made $5,000 in digital sales. So that's template sales, mini courses, whatever, those kinds of things. So I'm really excited about that, especially since the bulk of that happened in the last half of the year. So that's really exciting. I also took months off client work, not in a row, but a lot of months off. So I actually only took client work for about half of the year. And I used that time to work on my own projects, such as setting up the membership and launching it. I started to create more templates. I finally launched my client portal system in Notion and in ClickUp. I did a lot of things that I'd been really wanting to do, finally checked them off the list. So it was worth taking the time off from client work in order to get that done, but really excited that I took that time to refocus and I still increased my revenue this year. I've actually doubled my revenue this year. I also hired a VA, a virtual assistant, so I do now have some help. At the point in my business where I am now, I tend to easily go off onto little, squirrel brain trails. Shiny object syndrome. I have a thought or an idea and I want to act on it right away. And I drop other things that need to be taken care of in order to do the thing that might not see a result right now. So, hiring my virtual assistant has been awesome to help keep me on track and force me to create a place to write this stuff down so I don't lose the thoughts, but I can work on them later. How did my life evolve this year? I worked nearly every day for the days that I wasn't taking vacation. That was a little too much for me, I think. I didn't burn out. I'm happy about that, but I could see how it could get there. And so I want to prevent that from happening or spiraling out of control. So that's something that I want to keep an eye on. I took some time off for vacation and for family visits, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks in total, the most I've ever taken off from my own business in back to back quarters, actually. So that's interesting. We finally went on vacation for some of that time. So my husband and I went to Nova Scotia, which we loved. It felt a lot like going to Scotland. So that was kind of neat for us, having not been across the pond yet. I'm sure it's going to happen. I was also sick a lot. 2023 was a rough year for me. I felt like my health declined. I don't specifically have an answer yet. I've got doctor's appointments scheduled, so hopefully we'll figure that out. So I haven't figured out what triggers it, but I have actually eliminated the problem. I just don't know specifically what I eliminated that caused it, if that makes sense. So, what worked well? I raised my custom project pricing twice at least. I also raised my price for one-to-one sessions so that I would get fewer of them because I love doing them, but I just can't fill my calendar up any more than it already is. I launched my membership, super excited about that, really happy with the way it's running, with the engagement level in there. I have absolutely no complaints with that. That's been a dream so far. The YouTube and the blog only for marketing. So basically, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not running ads. I'm not posting on social media. I'm relying on referrals, blog, and YouTube, and it's working wonderfully. I got some extra exposure from guest posts, which was really exciting and fun. Always love to do those episodes. And what didn't work well? So, this is an interesting one. What was disappointing and what good came from it? So, I don't want to just dwell on the negative. First thing first, I wanted to record a course in December, but family decided to come visit and some things dropped in my lap that I had to replace. So, that was the thing that could wait the longest. And so we moved the recording the course. So that's going to happen this year. I'm really excited about it. But instead of that, or I guess in place of that, I still was able to launch the membership because that launched earlier in the year. I also was not as consistent on the blog or the YouTube channel as I would have liked. So I still grew just fine, and more so in the last half of the year when I was more consistent. But it's okay not to be perfect. I didn't need to show up every single week. I would like to. I would like to be a better planner than I was this year. So in 2024, that's the goal. But last year, I wasn't as consistent, but I still grew. So I now know it's okay not to be perfect. I did not batch publish my blogging and videos. I did plan way ahead. So I knew what I was going to do every week, but I didn't get it done typically until the week before it went live, sometimes days before it went live. And that by itself was a little bit stressful. So I'm happy that we planned the content ideas way ahead, but I need to get better about batching. My time management could have been a lot better. Anna, my virtual assistant, she helped me immensely, but I still could improve myself. Yeah, room for improvement there for sure. Purchases I've not used yet and don't have time to do for a while. I learned that basically my takeaway from that is I wanted to do it, otherwise I wouldn't have purchased it. And so now I know that I have it available when I do have the time. So I can make the time to do the thing, but now I just have a lot of things to do. What did I learn this year? So, kind of my takeaways are similar to what was disappointing and what came from it. I can run a stress free business that I love and still be financially stable. So, a lot of people have not been experiencing that this year. This year was a tough year for a lot of people. And this was the first year that was not tough for me. So I'm really thankful for that. I can make good money without being stressed. So, kind of circling back to the first one, yes, I since I doubled my revenue this year, my profit, my paychecks, my everything, expenses, even. Since I doubled everything, and this year was maybe one of the best years I've ever had so far. I now am even more confident that I can have a good year without being stressed. I need to manage my time a lot better. This is a big learn for me. I am not good at managing my time these days. I feel like I have squirrel brain to the max. Think Doug from the movie Up. I need to manage my time a lot better. I find that I get on rabbit holes a little too easily. I still love what I do and I love my business. So, nothing that was hard or stressful or unfortunate, no mistakes that I made or failures that I experienced this year have given me any inkling of, I want to burn it all down. Like it only got better for me this year. I got a lot of feedback this year from people genuinely enjoying my teaching style, which is literally music to my ears. That meant the world. And seeing that constant feedback encourages me to keep putting in all the effort because these YouTube videos, especially when they go along with a blog post, they ain't easy and they are super time consuming. So I really do appreciate the feedback. When you leave a comment somewhere that this totally made your day, or you're so glad that you finally found the thing that answered your question, you just can't imagine what that means. So thank you for the feedback. What did I not like about running my business this year? So I actually didn't have a ton. It was really hard to think of this list, but I had too many meetings on my calendar in general. So that is a work in progress. It's a lot better now than it was in Q2 and Q3. Those were the hardest months. Had so many ideas that I tended to feel scattered or chaotic. I feel like this is a complaint of a lot of entrepreneurs, not just myself. So I don't feel bad about that, but that is something that I need to find a system for. Brain dump it so that I can go back to what I need to work on. And when I can make time, I can pick up that stuff later. I lost track of my systems and things began to feel messy. That's typical throughout the year. But this year it happened a little earlier. I think partly because I brought on my VA in August. So it was like at the start or mid of Q3. And bringing that on and introducing that was a hiccup I wasn't as ready for as I thought I would be. Surprise, surprise. I wasn't as consistent with my content marketing as I had liked to be, and I've already said stuff about that. YouTube videos take a lot of time to film, edit, post on a blog. So again, this stuff takes hours to do, right? Just because I sit down in front of the video and you're seeing like an 8 or 10 or 20 or 30-minute thing does not mean that it did not take me actual hours to sit down, record the thing, edit the video, transcribe the video into a blog post and edit the blog post, post it, create all the thumbnails, all the things. And right now, I'm not at the point yet where I want to hire that stuff out. It's really hard to find a video editor that knows your content well enough to do the thing. And the ones that exist, I would rather allocate that money and attention to my assistant at this point. So I'm not at the point where I want to have both. So in the future, but not right now. What did I hate working on? So I can't say that I really hated anything about this year. I really thought hard about that. I could not think of a single thing. So I'm really grateful for not having anything on that list. What was tough? Feeling sick all the time. It was something to do with what I was eating. At one point, being a little bit scared to eat something because I wasn't sure how my body would react to it. Not wanting to eat out or go places because I wasn't sure if I'd feel good. So, yeah, that wasn't fun. Managing my time was really tough because again, I have so many projects and ideas that I want to work on. There's only so much time in the day. My husband does not work on the same schedule that I do, and so I try to take off work early on the days that he's home, which is typically giving me like a 4-day work week with like a half a day on the 5th day, whatever that is. So that's a little bit hard to navigate. For those of you with a significant other that work unusual hours, you know what I'm talking about. Deciding what to work on and when was a big issue for me because I wanted to work on all of it. So trying to manage doing all the things is hard and difficult, and you should not do that. I should not have either. But I was still able to get a lot done. So thankfully, I didn't let it totally sabotage my whole year. And then keeping up with myself mentally. So just making sure that I am like keeping up with self care and taking time for myself so that I can continue to be here for you guys. What did I avoid doing but should have done? I'm updating the SEO on my website. That was a thing that I really had wanted to do earlier in the year in like April, May, maybe. And now it's January of the following year and I still haven't done it yet. So I don't know if I was avoiding it, but I didn't give it the priority level that I had thought I would. Updating the design of my site. So there are a lot of outdated pages that need to be redesigned, and I really wanted to tackle that in 2023, but I didn't get around to it. So I started in December of 2023, actually, but it's not complete yet. So still a work in progress as of recording. Task management cleanup. I really need to figure out a time to do this more frequently so that I'm not trying to do this in bulk at the end of the year. I really need to do this like once a quarter just to make sure things stay where they're supposed to be. I need to get better at batching my content marketing. So I avoided that like the plague. I just did not ever want to sit like, how do I say this? Sitting down to record a thing when it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's not when you are ready to do multiple videos. If you're going to batch, you need to sit down in the morning and like get it all done so that you have time left in the day. At the end of the day, I'm starting to feel rushed because my husband's going to come home. I need to think about what we're going to do for dinner or if we have time to take my dog for a walk before it gets dark. And like, I'm not in business mode anymore by 3 or 4 o'clock. I'm starting to fall into, my personal life stuff. And then delegating more tasks. So, not that I'm avoiding it, but I just am trying to not overload my assistant. And so I'm trying to figure out how much to give, how much I can continue to do myself, what's really a task that I should continue to do myself versus what I should give to her. So it's all a learning experience for both of us. Thankfully, she's awesome and very patient with me. How did I feel in the business this year? The three words that came to mind were confident, comfortable, and excited. So I feel like I can't really complain. Those are all really positive things to feel about my business. What do I want to change? Time management, consistency, and delegation. You see a theme here? I feel like I've mentioned those themes in multiple questions. What felt like a time suck or a wasted money? 1 to 2 of the courses that I purchased this year, I knew I did not have time to take when I purchased them, but I wanted to have them available when I could make time. So sometimes if I let a whole year pass when I've done that, it feels like wasted money because I didn't actually do the thing or launch the thing or whatever the action was related to the course. So that's something I struggle with, even though, like, intellectually, I know that that's not the case. So anyway, 1 to 2 courses I purchased, I haven't actually finished or started yet. I joined a membership, which I've not engaged in as much as I would like to for the fact that I'm paying for the membership. So I'm in it, but I'm not active in it. And so why am I still paying for it kind of thing? I joined a course I really wanted to take, and then I got busy with client work and I kind of dropped it and forgot about it. So I really want to pick that back up. That particular course wasn't necessarily money. Actually, it wasn't money wasted at all because I did actually make that back within a month of picking up the course. That said, I need to finish it because imagine how much further I could be if I had. So, what felt like time, money well spent? Hiring my virtual assistant, hands down. That was one of the best things that I did all year. Trademarking my business name. I actually paid for that in 2022. I hired Paige Holst of Creative Law Shop to help me with that process because I just did not want to do it by myself. And I actually got the trademark in mid 2023. So a year later, takes a long time. A year later, it finally felt like money well spent. And actually, you can see the plaque on my bookshelf back there. The new office furniture. So I ordered a couple of new bookshelves. That's one of them right there in the corner. There's another one that kind of matches it on the other wall, or same wall, but further away from the camera. And that lets me pull some of the cluttery stuff, like notebooks and baskets full of junk, like out of what you get to see behind me. So I still have it at the ready, but I don't have to see it like in my rear view when I'm on meetings with clients and stuff like that. So really excited about the office furniture and my new plants. Did I mention my new plants? I'm really excited about my new plants. The membership, getting to know my members, that feels like money well spent. I love helping the people in there. I like to troubleshoot with them. I like to see them every month on our calls. It's just been a really positive and great experience for me. And then cleaning and reorganizing the rest of the house. So, what you can't see behind the wall that's like literally in front of me right now is my kitchen, which is going to eventually be completely gutted. We're in an old farmhouse, so it's not gutted yet, and it's, I think a bachelor actually renoed it himself. So picture someone who's not a cabinet maker who made cabinets. Um, Nothing is in the right place. There's no storage for anything. So I did a makeshift pantry. So we finally have some space to put extra shit now, which makes me super happy. I bought a couple of extra temporary cupboard type situations so we can store things. I'm one of those people that need to organize things, but I just don't want to see the mess. Like if it's in the drawer and it's contained, I don't care if it's messy, but I just don't want to see it. So I have lots of drawers and stuff to hide the mess in, which makes me a little happier. So yeah, I did that with the rest of the house. And that makes me like it frees up brain space for me. What do I want my life to look like in 2024? So generally healthier. So my word of the year, and I probably should have started with this, is wellness, both in my business and in my personal life. So I'm really trying to focus more on taking time for self-care, forming habits that will move me toward that, both in my personal life and in my business life. I also want fewer meetings on my calendar. So it's not that I don't love meeting with people, but I just had so many meetings last year. I felt like every day I had a meeting or every other day I had a meeting of some sort. And it really does actually put a damper on like my productivity level because I feel like I'm running up against a clock where I have to stop and refocus and do something else. And that's not great for my productivity. So I need either fewer meetings or to organize them more efficiently. I also want fewer client projects, I think. So last year, I only did client work for about half of the year. I would like to repeat that, I think, so that I have lots of time to dedicate towards the education side of my business, which I'm really excited about. And then I would like to take time to work on my projects. So again, I want fewer client projects so that I can switch gears into the education mode. And of course, create more educational content. So that kind of all flow into each other there. And I also want more time totally off of work and away from my desk. I have a bad habit, or I developed bad habits of working every single day of the week. During the weekend, when he's home, I find myself trying to catch up on the half day or the day that I missed during the actual work week, of like my work week. Which means that I tend to work every day, even on weekends, for at least an hour or two. That's not a habit that I want to keep. So I want more time away from my desk, where when I wake up in the morning, this is not the first place that I sit down. I do love my work and I do love my job, but I also need to make sure that I prioritize myself and my free space and develop hobbies again. In order to live my ideal life in 2024, I need to change my time management skills and also apply new skills that don't exist yet. I'm working on it. I need to get better at delegation. My assistant and I will sit down and we'll decide what additional things she could take or what I need to drop entirely. I also want to adjust my time blocking content batching system. So I didn't really have one before, so saying system is kind of funny, but I need to actually time block and content batch in 2024 in order to get ahead of the game and stay on schedule and continue to be consistent so that I can grow the way that I want. I need to improve on or want to learn better time blocking. So, yeah, I actually have done a lot of research on this the past week. So, working on it. I want to set up better funnels. Now that I have some digital products, I want to attach a funnel to that so that I can segment my audience a little bit more effectively. So I bought a course for that. I would like to actually take the course. And I want to improve my YouTube strategy, my YouTube channel. So I can give you more of what you're looking for here. What would I do in 2024 if I couldn't fail? So I think what I want to do is grow my YouTube channel to 2,000 subscribers this year. If I could get more than that, that would be amazing, but I'm pretty sure I can do 2,000, or that's just like a little over 1,000 as of time of recording. So I think I can do that in 12 months. I would love to grow my email list to 5,000 subscribers. So woot woot, we can do it. I want to grow my membership to 100 members. And I would love to create and sell my website templates this year. So those are all big projects. I don't know that I'll be able to do all of that in 1 year, but I'm definitely going to attempt it. So we'll check in hopefully next year's review and see how that went. What am I not willing to do or experience to have my ideal year? I'm not willing to experience burnout or stress or bad health. Getting sick again is not an option. Forgetting to move my body. So, one of the things that I think contributed to this is that because I had so much going on last year, I would sit at my desk for hours, hours and hours and hours, like 8, 10, 12 hours a day, some days. And that's really just not great for me. I'm 37 this year. So I cannot do that to myself. That's the whole reason why I got a walking pad last year and the standing desk. So I need to take more advantage of that. Not an option. Cannot get sick, cannot forget to move my body, cannot allow myself to get burnt out or stressed, although I did that minimally last year, but I will not let it happen again this year, and doing too much myself. So taking on things that I know good and well anybody could do. I need to drop a few of those things or drop things that don't absolutely need to be done. So I need to probably do a cull of what I do every day and see what I actually need to keep and what I can drop completely or delegate. What was the biggest money maker? I know everybody's curious. Client work was my biggest one, even though I only worked for half of the year on client projects. And my second one was affiliate income. So that was the biggest year in affiliate income that I've ever had, which floored me. I had not anticipated that. So if I can repeat that this year at a minimum and make the same amount, I would be so, so happy. The last one is the smallest moneymaker. So that was digital sales for me, but I'm actually really happy with that number. Because it really only represents about 6-ish months worth of actual sales. So that's pretty incredible that that got into, I think it was about $5,000 or $6,000. None of my templates cost more than $200. So that's saying a lot, I guess. It feels like a lot. Big win for me. That was a little longer than I thought it would be, but I'm excited to be able to share that with you. Last year was a really good year, so I don't actually mind sharing all the nitty-gritty with you. There wasn't anything super stressful about last year other than just my own lack of planning because I just get so damn excited about everything and all my ideas that I want to work on like yesterday and all day, and then I have so much fun with them. So, if I can rein that back in, I think 2024 will be a more effective year. I also think it's going to be more of a wellness focused year, both for my business. I took Business by Design by James Wedmore 3 years ago now. And I really feel like I'm at a point now where I need to redesign what my business looks like. So I need to design the way that I want my business to feel and look and run. So it's time for some tweaks there. But also, as of recording, I have my sizing kit Oura Ring on, so it's in the mail. It's coming to me. Really excited about that. It's going to contribute to my journey towards better wellness this year all around. If you're interested in learning more about that, I can do a review after I've been using it for a few months. So leave a comment below if you're interested in that. So if this was helpful for you in getting your own planning resources, seeing how I did this year, having some inspiration, I never want to share something like this with the intention of like, look at me, I did so awesome, and, bow down before me kind of situation. It's really just, I loved watching these videos when I was first starting out because, like, I wanted to know what the goals even could be. Being a 9 to 5er for most of my life and then moving into entrepreneurship, it was kind of like, I don't even know what to aspire to. Like how big or what's too big? What's realistic? So to see something like this where I can say I reached, specific goals and what did or didn't work, what am I learning about myself along the way? I really hope that that's helpful for you and that I'm not just like blabbing on for 40 fucking minutes. So anyway, if this was helpful for you, please leave a comment below. Make sure you like and subscribe because I would love to produce more content like this if that's what you would like to see. So the only way you're going to know that I have it is if you tap that little bell icon. Anyway, I'm going to quit rambling now. I've got other things to check off my list. So that's all I have for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.